Hi Piano Lab, it is Thursday, April the 16th, and today we're going to go over the 1, 4, and 5, 7 chords in A minor and in D minor. If you haven't done Tuesday and Wednesday's lessons yet, make sure you go back and do those first because you need to know what all of the notes are in A minor and D minor to be able to do these chords. So make sure you do those lesson plans first. So we're going to start with A minor here. And just a reminder, our relative major was C major. So in A minor, we have no sharps, no flats in our key signature. So if we just go through and build each of the chords, our one chord is going to be A, C, E. And that is without any sharps or flats because of the key signature. If we then kind of come over here to our 4 chord, and remember, we're going to invert it a little bit later. But our notes that we need are D, F, A. So it's a D chord, D, F, and A. And no sharps or flats. So let's start with just those two in the actual position that we need. Here's A, C, E. And that's going to sound like this. Remember that in minor, because of the intervals, it's going to sound sad compared to what we heard in the major key. Okay, so that was our 1 chord. For the 4 chord, we're using D, F, A, but we're putting the A in the bottom. So we have A, D, and F, and that's going to sound like this. And I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the fingerings, guys. The 1, 4, and 5 chord use the same fingerings that you've been using for those chords when we do them in the major key. It's just that the intervals are slightly different. Okay, so we did a 1 chord, an A minor chord. And something you might have noticed is that when we've seen these in major, they've either had the note, the letter name alone, or with a capital M. In minor, we're going to use a lowercase m. So you can see up here, a small or lowercase m means minor. So that's just kind of a clue with that. The same thing with the Roman numerals. Instead of doing a capital I or a capital INV, here we use lowercase to indicate that it's minor. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking through these. Okay, so 1 and 4 chord, pretty straightforward. On the 5 chord, we have an accidental. So even though our key signature didn't have an accidental, here we have an accidental. Let's take a look at the notes and see if we can figure out why that happened. So our notes we have are going to be E, G sharp, B, and D. So if we look down here, when we invert it, we have G sharp, G sharp, D, and E. The G sharp at the bottom, that is our 7th step. So let me pull up our paper here that we did on A minor the other day and take a look at that. If we looked at harmonic minor, we had A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A. So that 7th step was a G sharp in harmonic minor. So anytime we're doing our chords for the minor scales, we're going to follow harmonic minor and use that raised 7th. Okay? So this is not going to be G natural. Instead, it's going to be G sharp. So G sharp, D, and E. Let me play that for you. And just something extra that they don't have on these papers, but just so you know, that sharp 7th is called a leading tone because it kind of leads us back to the main note. So if I'm playing A minor, it leads me into that last A. So you can kind of listen for that as well. All right, so if I were to play a 1, 4, 5, 7, and then 1, this is what it's going to sound like in A minor. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like with my left hand. For the 1 chord, 1, 3, 5. A, C, E. For the 4 chord, 5, 3, 1. Sorry guys, I had it backwards. 5, 3, 1 for the 1 chord. For the 4 chord, 5, 2, and thumb. And our notes for that are going to be A, D, and F, all naturals. For our 5 chord, remember this 7 is going to be raised, so that's sharp, G sharp, D, and E. 5, 2, and thumb. And then back to 1, A, C, E, 5, 3, and 1. Okay, so that's A minor. Now let's jump over to our D minor chords. So D minor chords, first of all, let's remember that our key signature in D minor had a B flat. So we're going to have B flat anywhere that we have a B in these chords. So starting with our 1 chord, we have D, F, A. And that's going to be the same fingering, D, F, A. 5, 3, 1. So it looks like this, D, F, A. For the 4 chord, we have a D, a G, and that B is going to be flat because of the key signature. So D, G, and B. And that looks like this, D, G, B flat. And you kind of have to pull your hand up a little bit to make sure you can get that flat. All right, and then our 5 chord, remember we're following harmonic minor, so that 7 is going to be C sharp, just like in harmonic minor. So we have C sharp, G, and A. C sharp, G, and A. And then back to our 1 chord. So following this progression, I'm going to play 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. And I'll go over each note. So D, F, A for the 1 chord. D, G, B flat for the 4 chord. C sharp, G, A for the 5, 7 chord. And then D, F, A for the 1 chord. Okay, and then just one final little reminder. Remember that we're going to put that lowercase m next to the minor chords, next to the letter names to indicate minor, and we're going to use lowercase Roman numerals to indicate minor. So that should get you started on those minor chords. Answer that Google form and have a great rest of your day.